So one thing that goes hand in hand with reviews are scores. And a lot of people, reviewers, once they start giving out scores, a lot of times they just stop because a lot of the people in the comments just stick with the store. That's all they talk about. They don't shut up about the fucking score. And I've seen those comments, and those comments annoy the shit out of me. Now, so does that mean I'll ever stop giving scores? Probably never, because one, with my reviews, I like the scores because the scores kind of let me, like, I've watched reviews before where they were talking shit about the whole thing and then it was like, oh, 7, 8 out of 10. I've seen reviews where they're praising it and then it's like 5 out of 10. And I know part of that is some of those reviewers are like objective and their bias is kind of getting in there. That's why with my reviews I like to just stick subjective. And when I give out scores, I basically am just kind of think, how much do I like it? How much do I enjoy myself? How do I compare it to the other things I've reviewed, right? I like the scores because I'm a weird person who I like lists, I like, kind of just comparisons, I like seeing all these projects side by side and ranking them and doing all this dumb stuff. So the scores, I like that fact. I like that I can do that. The thing about that is, and with people in comments, usually I don't even think I have that much community to get, haters who are gonna like focus on the score. I don't think I have that much community. The few comments I've gotten like that, usually when people talk shit in comments, I'm fairly nice to them back, and then they're like, oh, sorry. So that's usually how that's gone. So no one's really, and I'm not like super out of the norm with my opinions. I'm generally positive. I generally like what a lot of people like. I don't think I'm too out there with my opinions. I try to just make it as presentable and funny as possible for you guys and try to get some thoughts out there that some people haven't thought yet, or opinions people haven't delivered upon yet. That's what I try to bring with my reviews. And then my score is always just gonna be my subjective opinion. The thing why I hate scores is I hate giving scores so much because way back in the day when I did written reviews, there was so much, whenever I was like at a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10 or stuck between there, I hated having to choose because, again, I have that like special badge I give to products I love, and so that like, do I love it or do I not? I hated being in the middle there. I hated when I looked at certain things, like one thing that was a 6 out of 10 and something else that was a 6 out of 10, there was a huge gap in how much I like them. And that's probably, I still have that, just not as much. I don't think it bothers me really anymore. Whenever I give them out, I kind of cringe because a lot of the times I don't want to give that score because a lot of the times, let's say I watch some and I think it's bad. Part of me has that appreciation for what it is, and I try to be nice about it, and so I don't want to like just, and there have been times the creator of the project, of the album or whatever, has seen the review, and so I try to be nice. Because I know they've probably worked hard on it. They don't understand that I'm just one person that's probably out of the loop, especially with their fan base. 4 out of 10s, a lot of times 4 out of 10s. I don't have the heart to review it, because I don't have enough hate to, really get a fire behind my voice or anything. It's just dull. Whenever something's a 4 out of 10, I don't even have the, strength to review it. Same with 5 out of 10s, but a lot of the times, I can think of some there. 6 out of 10s. 6 out of 10 is just a boring number. I don't feel like I don't have that much opinion on it, then why, I feel like, unless I can make something out of it, why even review it? 7 out of 10. I hate 7 out of 10s maybe the most because 7 out of 10 happens way too fucking often for me. The past like 4 or 5 animes I reviewed, all 7 out of 10. Most of the movies I watch, 7 out of 10. A lot of the video games that are coming out now, that I've played, maybe not like coming out now like in a general term, but like the last couple like that I've played, because I've been kind of doing the same thing because they're these like kind of action-y like platformer games because they work for reviews, right? They're all 7 out of 10s. And a lot of music I listen to, I like music a lot because it kind of ranges so much more. But when it's just a 7 out of 10, it's just another 7 out of 10, you know? 8 out of 10s. Now we're at like a weird scale where I 8 out of 10, anything that's an 8, I love. I don't love it passionately, but I like, yeah, I love that. And a lot of the times I'm like, it doesn't deserve that. Or I'm like, again, just kind of teetering all over the place. And again, 8 out of 10s happen a lot. And when you say you love so much, because I do, I love media, that's why I do this. But when I say I love so much, it comes across as fake after a while. 9 out of 10s and 10 out of 10s, I would love it if they happen more often. They don't happen often. And the thing with them is, one, they kind of like set benchmarks that are way too high. And often I don't get to experience them because a lot of the times, like when I try to watch classics, I feel out of the loop a lot of times when I'll like watch a classic movie or something and I don't have the same sentiment that most people have. That, or I don't watch the classics because I want to love them and I kind of know like I'll feel it beforehand. I'm like, I'm really gonna love this, but I stop myself because if I make a review for it, it's probably not gonna be what I want it to be. I'll give an example. I watched the movie, why am I forgetting the name? Spotless Mind. I'm forgetting the name for some reason, and it's on camera, so that's terrible. But I watched that movie, it was a 10 out of 10 for me. I thought of an idea for the video that would have been great. I don't have the resources to make that yet, so I didn't write the review. I feel like that's gonna happen so much when I review these movies these classics or whatever, right? These 10 out of 10 video games, like, that I think I'll love when I play it. Will I though? Will I? If I don't, if I do love it as much as everyone else, then I might not be able to make the video I want to. If I don't, if I don't love it, then I'm gonna be out of the loop and probably no one's gonna agree with my opinion, and it's frustrating. And that's why pretty much whatever score I give, I kind of just stick with it. I try to not change it, and usually 99% of the time, those scores I stick with and I continue to feel that way. It's annoying a lot of times giving any grade because there's always this annoying little voice in the back of your head with whatever it is, and you kind of just gotta be like, no, that's my opinion, fuck off. You gotta make something else with the video. You gotta get more entertainment in there. You gotta think of something clever that no one else has thought of yet. Spin that into the writing. That's what I try to do. Anyway, that was my rant. Let me guys know if you are critics, if you feel any of the same sentiment that I do. I remember when I did written reviews, I like went to the out of 5 scale because it was pissing me off so much. And when I started to do YouTube, I didn't stick with the out of 10 scale. I made the scale whatever I wanted to, just so it'd be easier for me. But then I just went with the out of 10 scale, so it was easier for everyone else. And I don't mind the out of 10 scale. So, those are my thoughts. Let me know your guys' thoughts, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy these videos where I try to get better at rambling, because it makes good for podcasts, makes good for later videos, and even my main channel, it gets better when I get better at rambling. Said better maybe a little bit too much. That's why we practice. Anyway guys, thank you so much. You are the best. And with that,